The original Game Glitches episode from 2010 is one I remember fondly, and it seems the character of the Glitch Gremlin is well loved among fans. Every now and then, someone will come up to me at a convention cosplaying as the Gremlin. Of course, the Gremlin was played by my high school buddy Kevin Finn, and ever since that episode, we've tossed around the idea of bringing the character back. 14 years later, I realized the tremendous amount of nostalgia it would invoke. It's the same thing Hollywood's been doing. Top Gun Maverick, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Cobra Kai, Beetlejuice. Some are better than others, but the idea of the Legacy sequel is becoming sort of a cliche, so I decided to lean into it and be self-aware of what we're doing. I haven't seen any parodies of Legacy sequels yet, which isn't that surprising since it's a relatively new trend and the tropes are still developing. I knew we had to tease the character coming back, add more of a backstory, and introduce a new character. What if the Gremlin had a family? It made us laugh, so we went with it. Rather than repeating the same thing, I felt the Nerd and Gremlin should team up because it's a great familiar story to have two enemies that must join forces to fight against a greater adversary. So for the Blaster Master episode, which kicked off the story arc, I came up with the idea of an artificial being that takes over the game room. This was AI Man, played by my former neighbor John, who I've known since I was 12.
I can become the perfect mouse specimen. Check out this body. You love this body.
I'm still hearing like...
I know, that fucking weird voice. I'm being a robot. Yeah. I'm just used to being a robot, and I don't want to be a robot. I am AI Man. Yeah, should I do a Batman voice for that one? More like I am AI Man.
If we did it the whole time.
I haven't acted. I'm not an actor. I haven't acted since we fucking made movies when 30 years ago when we were kids, like literally. So it was kind of fun for me to try to like figure out the voice for the AI Man, and I think once I went into like professional wrestler mode.
Oh yeah.
I think I finally like found like an angle as to like what the character is. Yeah, I've evolved, nerd. Welcome back to the game. I feel like a professional wrestler.
That's the right attitude. Yeah, that's it.
Welcome back to the game. So we've beaten Tony Hawk 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're up to 5, whether you like it or not.
That's it. That's the attitude. Yeah. Now the first thing about the suit.
It's heavy.
First of all, it's like lifting up a human body.
It's like almost 50 pounds or something like that. It was, I don't know if it was quite 50 pounds, but it was 30, 40 pounds easily. Heavy.
And talk about how tight that was.
It fit like, I was comparing it to, so when I was in high school, I was never a power lifter, but a lot of my friends were power lifters. And the tightness level, I would compare it to putting on like a lifting shirt. I know you're not like a muscle person, but like...
So that's a thing, like a lifting shirt?
Yeah, so it's like a powerlifting shirt that kind of helps people. It's like an assist, essentially. So people will wear like really tight shirts where they have to like peel them over their head and roll them down their body, and so that their arms are kind of out like this and they can just bench press. You know what I mean? They kind of walk around like that. So it felt as restrictive as that. And then by the end of it, how long was I in that suit for? 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. It wasn't like a tremendous amount of time, but I knew once I took the suit off, I wasn't going to want to put it back on. So we just did everything straight away. But when I took the suit off, I needed James to help me literally like pry it over my head. And then my shirt, I had a shirt underneath of it. It was more wet than it is when I leave a sauna. So sometimes I'll do a sauna for a dry sauna at the gym for like 20 minutes. And when I took, my shirt was like twice as wet as it was when I was in that sauna. So like I felt like I got a workout just from wearing that suit because I sweated so much and I was carrying around the extra like 30, 40 pounds.
Now when I peeled the suit off of him, because I had to help him out of it, when I pulled it off,
James got
sprayed. The arm actually almost made a sweat cannon. So like there was actually like just all this sweat like just squirted out of the arm like a cannon, and it was like, man, like that is so,
it was pretty gross.
It was so gross that like after you left, I'm like, what do I do with this now? Like this big
Did you
blob.
Like spray it down?
Well, I don't even know if there's anything you can do because it's like, how are you going to clean sweat out of like a? And plus, am I ever going to use it again? I was like, you know what? I didn't throw it away. I kept it. But
did you clean it?
I don't know how you could clean it. So the next person, if anybody else has to wear that thing again, it's
clean
like
that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
gonna.
Gross.
Like my whole arms had like imprints from the thing on. So it was
there's like a mesh, kind of like it has like a cross sections. Well, one thing that happens when you have something like that, where an actor is in something where it's really uncomfortable, it kind of makes you film better too, because it makes you kind of like cut the bullshit.
Focus.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, let's get this done now so you can get out of the suit. So then you're not just like, goofing around as much. Now you're kind of just like, all right, let's get the shot. Oh my God. Hey.
You are the ultimate game master.
How are we going to glitch this?
You are the ultimate game master now.
Oh my God.
I cannot lose.
Holy shit. Oh my God! How do they make it? Okay, all right, okay. That was good. That was good. Also about that suit, this is kind of interesting. So I bought the suit, and that comes in the in the mail, and I get there's like a little sort of like catalog that comes with it, like a small little pamphlet where it has like their other products they make, and well, there's a lot of extra appendages, I would say you can add. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I kind of get the feeling that this suit, some people might use it for different purposes.
Probably. That's funny.
Yeah.
I felt like Charlie got to wear the Green Man suit.
Oh, yeah. From Always Sunny in Philadelphia, yeah.
You've always made me do a lot of fucked up shit in movies.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the most fucked up things I've had to do for you.
Yeah.
At 42 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Not at 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
Make me fall down the stairs or jump off of trampolines and shit like that. But no.
Yeah.
Well, that was really fun.
It
was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, real quick. So this is Nicolette Shutty. She is, you may also know her as the director of Razzmatazz in The Head Incident 3 or 2? Part 2. This is my fiance. I know you and I were talking about how much I've aged.
But then having it kind of so starkly shown as the flashback in front, it's then when there's the reveal, it's like, oh wow, a lot of time has passed. It's been many years since the Glitch Gremlin and the nerd have come together.
Yes.
We're looking at the old Glitch Gremlin video, trying to match the ears. Got to get those ears perfect.
I don't know if it's because the camera's better now, so you
picks
can
up on
see it more.
Okay.
But the ears definitely blended more in the first episode.
So we got 3 sets of ears here. These ones seem to be too big. These ones were okay. These ones look the most similar to the video, because I don't still have those ears. I don't know where I got those from. Can't remember. But the ones we got here, I think, are the most similar.
The most close.
All right, the Glitch Gremlin returns. Here we go. He's back.
I've got glitches in me britches.
There it is. There we are. My old Kmart vest.
I do love that we're redeeming gremlins.
I know. They're not so bad.
We're these are 3-dimensional creatures with lives and families and
I know.
And mischievous, not murderous.
We never caused any plane crashes, nerd. We never caused any plane crashes.
Yeah, one more, little more sincere. Because I just sensed a little bit of
sarcasm.
He could still, yeah. For real?
For real?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Honestly. Looks like I'm bullshitting.
I still feel like
when I smirk.
I'm not sure. I just kind of feel like.
All right, I'll be really sincere.
Okay.
He's kind of a.
Yeah. How do you trust him?
He's a tricky character.
Yeah. How do you make the because his character is known to be the Glitch Gremlin. So.
He's classically dishonest.
Yeah.
We had a lot of ideas for what the relationship would be and kind of what these scenes of Mr. and Mrs. Glitch Gremlin were gonna feel like, and we had thought about them just constantly glitching into other genres and different shows and being Lucy and Ricky and being Elvis and Priscilla Presley
like
and
a WandaVision type of thing.
Yeah, and just constantly shifting in our glitchiness.
It would have been too complicated.
To be, we started thinking also it's a Christmas episode. Let's think sort of classic Christmas movies, and is there anything we want to play off with that? And It's a Wonderful Life is a favorite, and also about someone who's kind of despondent over their career choice and sort of how their life is going and wanting something different. And so my character was neither just the stereotypical supportive wife who was just oh, of course, anything, just follow your dreams, but also not the nagging wife.
Right.
Because it's easy to fall into those, and like they're easy comedy tropes to work with. And so finding the sort of the balance of
She's a strong, powerful female gremlin.
She has it all. She's like got the high-powered job. She's got the husband. She's got the baby. I think it was James who really like hammered it home. Is like, oh, like having a kid changes everything. And so that's where we were like, okay, she should be pregnant. And the idea of like, okay, there's like the first baby on the way, and how that sort of shifts how you think about your career and what you're doing, and how stable is like glitching video games versus glitching office equipment, like
something
office
dependable, something reliable. Oh, and then you'll see a wedding photo back there with me and Nicolette's face clearly photoshopped in my view. So we aren't married yet. So this is not our actual wedding photo.
The pregnancy belly was also a partially deflated like child's kickball that was gaff taped like 8 times around my middle.
My favorite of your deliveries is the liar.
The baby kicks. Yeah, who does that when we both know you've been lying?
I love doing a nice reversal. I love just leading you down a path and then just like smacking you.
Well, I'm a new character in the canon in a legacy sequel, so we have to... Knew that would happen.
Of a legacy sequel.
Of a legacy.
I'm
no,
sorry,
it was in a legacy
yes,
sequel.
I'm so sorry.
I was like,
Yes.
I have it.
Yes.
And I liked ripping through the paper, because I feel like that's the closest thing to like the Q-tip or something.
Yes.
Where it's like, when I'm interacting with something big, and it's like, keep it away, or I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Every time I'm getting picked up or holding from a tree, it ends up looking pretty good.
Really impressive.
I remember us trying to figure out how big the fake tree should be in order for it to seem like it was the right scale.
Yeah. But the tree coated in snow was like the bane of our existence on set, because no matter what you did, it shed all of the white powder. It got on clothes, in hair, on the set. So it's like anytime we moved it at all, we had to bring out the vacuum and like vacuum it up. Otherwise it wouldn't key out on the green screen. We're like inhaling the dust. Everyone's frustrated with it. So by the end of the shoot, James like gets it all shoved into a box and just writes messy on it in a Sharpie and like puts it in the back of a shed and is just like, I don't want to see it again. I don't think I'm ever going to use it again. But it's like they say never work with children or animals, but I think it's never work with a snow-covered Christmas tree. I think it might be worse.
Oh, cut, we got a wire.
Anytime there's a walking sequence on the green screen, you just stand on that treadmill and you go and you go. In order for it to look cool for slow motion, we had to just put it to a 10. And so I'm kind of walking super fast. There was times where I was like rolling backwards, trying to get the vest on while I'm walking fast. And I was like hurting my ankles because I was hitting the back of the machine over and over again. But it ends up looking really good. It's got a real Reservoir Dogs kind of triumphant return kind of quality to it.
I also love that he comes in with you on his arm like you're like a falcon.
Like I'm a falcon, yeah.
Just ready to go.
But there's a few Easter egg lines from other movies that I was in with James.
Well, Scooby-Doo.
Well, Scooby-Doo.
Look at us, we're skateboarding. We're thrashing.
Will you push me?
Tony Hawk! Skateboarding, thrashing.
Keep it up until it hoits! Until it hoits!
Punch it 50 million times until it hoits.
Well, you want me to punch
Until
it
it
50 million times until it hurts?
I think Bugsy the Irish Brood.
He's the most quoted around
It's
here.
the second time I play an Irish person because I am actually Irish, so it's.
What? Kevin Finn, an Irish name? What? And I think also we have different Irish accents, and that is because I was also very insistent that my Glitch Gremlin came from the Derry, Ireland region, so that I could copy a Derry girl's accent.
Great show.
I do also like that there's like a hierarchy within the glitch world where it's like, oh, if you're glitching radios and like planes, that's that's high tier.
Yeah, if you work for NASA.
Yeah, if you're working with NASA.
Or working against NASA.
Yeah. I mean, it's like child's play for me because I'm glitching the stock market. So to make one man lose a lot.
It's a hell of a glitch.
Nothing compared to that.
It's the first time he has a character arc.
Yes, because otherwise he was just, I'm here to wreak havoc.
He
and
is
just
what he is in the first one.
throw the one-liners
And there's a sadness that we've never seen from the Glitch Gremlin before.
No, because he's always been like in his element and doing his thing.
But now we're seeing another side of the Glitch Gremlin. With some sadness, his energy is much lower.
Mm-hmm. Which is the hallmark of the Legacy sequel. Is like we've taken a character who maybe seemed more one-dimensional, sort of like villainy in the first one, and then we get the backstory and we're like, now we know more about like where he comes from and what's been happening over time. And
I will say this, it's a good time to say this. So basically after the first day of shooting, but it became clear to me once my throat started really hurting
right.
that I had something. And so I ended up being sick for an entire month after this.
Yep.
Like laying around, having no energy, my throat hurt. And I'm pretty sure it was COVID.
But then you had found out from James that when you filmed the first time, you had like the flu.
So that's what we found out. James remembered I had the flu during the first filming of the glitch, and then the second I had COVID or something. More devastating than the first time. But there was never a time where I played the Glitch Gremlin where I wasn't very ill. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it doesn't show.
All right, and go. Okay, that's good. Whoa, I was worried you were gonna fall.
I had to crouch in this scene for probably 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, my thighs are killing me. Like, and I really didn't want to sit down in the middle of the take. I was like, I want to commit. I want to stay in my gremlin crouch for the take. And like, as soon as James would call cut, I would like just collapse to the ground.
Now you know.
My body is sore.
I've got my glasses on.
Oh, the glasses on. Shit. Oh, okay.
Also, that is the Mexican hat dance.
While there was a lot of planning involved, like writing the script, gathering props, making arrangements, I also spent a great deal of time recording game glitches. To begin with, it was hard to narrow down which games to do. I had to think of it in terms of a story, like when is the Nerd and Gremlin team winning the battle, and when is AI Man prevailing. I figured AI Man would break out the modern console, and that's when things would look doomed. I had to decide, when is AI Man in the TV, when is he physically in the room, when is he interacting with the Gremlin, and when with the Nerd. So I planned it all out on index cards, and when I was finally satisfied, I wrote it into the final script, though many ideas changed and evolved as the shooting went on.
And then from here, it's like I'm on the green screen and James is showing me different clips and we're improvising.
Oh, Tony Hawk, you lost your arm. I hope it's not your good one. It'll make Friday nights kind of lonely for you.
For some of the glitches, my buddy Mike helped out. He showed me how to do the GTA Vice City glitches, and he already had footage because he made a whole series about game glitches many years ago. But I still re-recorded them myself because I wanted the first-hand experience. I wanted to make sure that every glitch would still work. The toughest part was the modern glitches because, like we say in the episode, there's always patches. I actually tried out many games which had known glitches, but were a complete waste of time because I found that none of these glitches worked anymore, not even on the physical discs. I eventually settled on the PS5 Spider-Man games because, luckily, not all of the glitches were patched yet. There already exist a ton of glitch videos on YouTube, so if you want more explanation of how to trigger some of these common glitches, you can look up any video to get the full explanation. There's even several videos about the same glitches, so I figured there's no sense going into that much detail, instead to keep up the momentum and flow of the story. Funny enough, there were actual glitches happening to the video itself. Adobe Premiere kept crashing, and I'm not at all surprised because of how massive this video was. There was so much green screen, so many layers and effects that it kept freezing up. At times, I was very nervous that the whole project was going to become unresponsive and I would lose several months of work. So I made sure to back it up constantly on multiple servers and save different versions. I also broke it up into multiple project files going scene by scene. One of the most time-consuming things was cropping out all the junk in the corners of the frame. Unless you have a super gigantic green screen, that kind of thing can be unavoidable. So I'd have to draw a mask around the bodies, and if he's jumping or doing some kind of complex movement, I would have to make keyframes to follow him around. It's not that bad when it's just a few shots, but when it's a 25-minute video and every shot has something to work on, it can drag on for over 100 hours. This project consumed me for a while, but that's the nature of the game. Same when I was working on the Mario 3 episode, the Rob the Robot episode, the Mega Man one. When you get excited about a project, you just have to dive into a very irrational mindset. You lose sleep, you're not answering emails, things pile up, but then the video's done, you're proud of it, and you move on to the next. And the next one will be back to basics. Some things never change, and the nerd videos have always been a constant familiar thing for me. I know a lot of others feel the same, and I love that. I also got to work with my friends who I've known since the 90s, and here we are still goofing around. That's what the nerd videos have always been about, goofing around with friends, reliving good times while making new good times. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.
Great to be in another nerd video, especially with my fiance. We get to collaborate. It's very special for me.
Definitely for me as well.
And James, thank you for having us again, for your hospitality and for bringing us out to do this. It's always a pleasure. Maybe we'll have somehow some involvement in some part 3 with the child.
We teased it. We teased
We'll see
possible trilogy, so you never know. You never know in the world of the nerd what could happen.
And then the Christmas card, very adorable, very adorable.